wait. That's me.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the GWBK YouTube channel. This is Game Talk episode number 4. And Game Talk is my little slice of the podcasting world where I talk about things that are video game related. I don't have a set schedule for when I do these things, but they usually come up when I come across something that piques my interest. And in this case, I saw a video from a fellow YouTuber named Call Me Jaden. And when I say fellow YouTuber, I'm barely a YouTuber. He's an actual YouTuber. He's got like over 20,000 subscribers. He puts out great content, especially in the realm of the EA Sports college football video game. That's where I've come to know him and subscribe to his channel. He has great content. And this is my very first attempt at doing a reaction type video. I really don't know how to go about it. I'm kind of winging it. Like I said, I'm barely a YouTuber. If it don't come out all that great, go easy on me. Before I begin, I'm not going to do what some of these other channels do, what some of these AI generated channels do, and just straight up jack this man's content and pose it off as my own. I am going to offer up my own opinions. I'm probably going to do a lot of cuts here and there and respond to or react to the things that he's saying and see if we're on the same page with our opinions. And as a channel that's not monetized, I'm not making a penny off of it. So just wanted to see how our opinions kind of align on this subject. So the topic that I'm going to react to, or the video I'm going to react to, is entitled Why Sports Games Don't Feel the Same Anymore.
What has happened to sports games over the last 5-10 years, man? We're primarily a college football channel, but MLB, I'm a baseball guy. If y'all know me, y'all know that for a fact. They have dropped their trailer, and a lot of people in the MLB baseball community is extremely upset with that trailer, and it just had me thinking, what is going on with all of these sports games? I mean, from college football, 25, 26, and entering 27 to the Maddens, man. I haven't played Madden in about 2 years for a reason. We'll get into.
I actually didn't know he was a baseball guy. My primary exposure to him, as I mentioned in the intro, was through the college football series. So I didn't even know he was into baseball like that. Me personally, I grew up as a person who watched and listened on the radio. Yes, I know radio, to a lot of baseball, my grandfather and my pops. But I would say over the years, I kind of fallen back from baseball as a fan. I used to collect baseball cards too. Like I was big into baseball up until I would say the 94 strike. And then I'm kind of telling my age now. I'm in my early 40s right now. But around that time, I would say I kind of gravitated away from baseball. I don't really know what filled that void. I would say maybe I started paying more attention to college sports around that time, in that same general mid to late 90s time period. But yeah, I didn't know he was into baseball at all. So it's interesting he has that kind of perspective there, because I did see a lot of stuff online about people being disappointed with the trailer for MLB The Show. I've played MLB The Show via the Game Pass over when I first got the Xbox, maybe some 3+ years ago at this point. I got it back in December of 2022. MLB The Show was one of those games. I forgot which one. I think the one with Jazz Chisholm on the cover was the first one I played. And I think I might have played the one right after that too. I can't remember. But the Negro Leagues was a big allure for me. So I might buy that game if it's not available on the digital stores, because I know these companies like to pull stuff digitally off the digital shelves. But I might get it just for the Negro League playthrough, because I didn't really do a whole lot with that. I played the my player equivalent for a little while. I'm a Mets fan, so I ain't got a whole lot to root for. So, and I'm a casual baseball fan at this point, so I can't even act like I'm a hardcore Met fan. But let's get back to the rest of his video.
To that in this video, your 2Ks, all your sports games, I feel like is one maybe most important thing that have been negatively affecting this industry, man. And it's the microtransactions, man. It's the My Team, it's the Ultimate Team, it's the Diamond Dynasty of the MLB world. And the thing about MLB, the thing I always loved about that series is the pay to win mode doesn't feel like.
Now I think that opinion on microtransactions might be the most universal opinion that I've seen online. And maybe I'm traveling in certain circles. Maybe I am only interacting with people in a certain silo, I guess, as they call them. There's a term for that, but it just blows my mind right now, because it's used in the political space as well. why am I drawing a blank right now? It's probably going to hit me right after I finish recording. But yeah, maybe I'm traveling in the same circles, but I think everyone has that same kind of visceral negative reaction to microtransactions. Didn't mean for that rhyme. But it's because it makes us feel like we're being nickel and dimed. Like, if it's one thing if you're paying for stuff that's like not that integral to the game, maybe. But then even with those things, it feels like why are you even making us pay for like sneakers or a certain headband or goggles or whatever, like in the NBA 2K? Like that game itself is microtransaction out with the My Player thing. Like the thing I hate the most about the modern sports game, as far as the microtransactions goes, is that we pay a decent amount of money for the game as it is. But then some of these companies want to have like these special editions. They don't really give you anything of real tangible value. But then in the world of NBA 2K, the more money you spend, the more competitive you can be, up until this cheating scandal. But it gives you a better chance at having a good online experience, and that kind of sucks. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. The fact that you can't really have any fun online when you start off with your 60 overall build, which is insane to me. I don't know how the My Player character is an NBA player, but he's like a 60 overall. He can't be like a 70 or 72, some kind of fringe player. Like a 60 overall should be like you and me, who will never play pro basketball or anything like that. But yeah, the microtransaction thing, it's a gift and a curse. I think I mentioned that in the previous episode of Game Talk, in that it does allow us, like the online connection is a gift and a curse. It allows us to get new content and extra content that might have not made it into the original copy of a game. But because it's connected to the internet, the developers can always add some stuff. But then they just found a way to just turn us upside down and just shake every penny from us, man. And that's what I hate.
Pay to win, Diamond Dynasty. It doesn't feel like pay to win in that game. In Ultimate Team, in college football and Madden, especially in Madden, it just always felt like pay to win. Hey, whoever picks up the most money will have the best team every single time. And there's always going to be players that are just not as good out there than the guys that's free. And that's a fact in all of these game modes. Even in MLB, a game that traditionally do not have that. You could get free guys that's usually elite, good players. You can't get that in the 26 game, the game, or the 25 game that came out last.
See, I don't know all of the specifics about the Diamond Dynasty play to win aspects, because when I did play the My Player thing in one of those MLB The Show games, I didn't spend any money. I didn't really I was just playing the games for the experience of playing a baseball game, and it was free on Game Pass, so I didn't really go too hard with it. Now, I can speak to the NBA 2K experience, and I think he alluded to that with his statement. He kind of piggybacked the thing I said in the last reaction segment, where you kind of need to spend the money. You kind of need to upgrade your player in order to have a good experience online, because you're not competitive if you're just playing and grinding through the game. Now, if you're only playing the story stuff and not really trying to go to the park, then you can probably have a nice little experience with that, just trying to develop your character and all that. But if you want to have any kind of online competitiveness, you're going to end up spending money on VC. Now, for me, with 2K23, NBA 2K23 to be more specific, I got that game for free. My homeboy Johnny Castle hooked me up with that as a gift when I first got my Series X console, and because I got the game for free, I was like, all right, I'm gonna spend some money on VC. And truthfully, the only reason I spent money on VC that year, it was because the homeboy King Paulie, who's also part of my ESU dynasty with Johnny Castle, he was heavy into the 2K playing online. He was like, yo, you should run with us. And so I had to run with them. And the only way to do that is to up your character. So I was spending a little money here and there, and eventually I think I spent maybe a total of $70 or $80, which is like equivalent to the actual price of the game. I also grinded out for VC as well, and I think I got my guy up to like 85, and I just called it quits, because even at 85, you're not really doing nothing with these guys who are just demons, just buying VC up and down. and just killing you on the court. So now let's go on to the next segment.
Sure. And I really wish different for college football 27 and this whole entire series. I view this college football series as more of like a dynasty, road to glory, more of an offline type of game mode or game in general. And I feel like you can't cater for both, at least not in Madden and this football video game space. I don't think you could cater for an online game and an offline game both in the same site. You got to commit to one. Are you more of a sim game for the offline space? I believe that's what college football should be, and then Madden should be more centered around the online. Whether it's Ultimate Team, head to head, and even franchise. Online franchise is just way better. And at least structure-wise than college football franchises. You got 32 teams, 32 users, all of that stuff. So I believe EA needs to make a choice, man. Dedicate college football to sim, dedicate Madden to just online. Maybe not just online, but primarily on.
This might be one area where I think me and Jaden might disagree. I think there's a point of dissension here. Well, not really dissension, not in that kind of context, but here's an area where I think me and Jaden might disagree. First, let me make sure I understand what the point that he's trying to make, because I think I understand what he's trying to say on the surface in terms of Madden probably being more suited to the football gamers who enjoy the online aspects. Meanwhile, the hardcore dynasty makers, franchise mode type gamers are probably best suited for the college football game. And in some ways I kind of understand that, because with the building a college program is going to take some time, and you probably, with the recruiting and all that stuff, you're probably going to want to commit more time to that. And the offline aspects, as long as you're not using a team builder team, because once the servers go, there ain't gonna be no more offline. You have to be connected. So I lost my point. Now I'm back on point. I kind of disagree with him. I think that you can serve two masters, and that I believe college football 26 does serve two masters, because I feel like, using myself as an example, obviously, I enjoy the online head-to-head play when it works. Now, because I'm currently, for the past 2 or 3 months, I've been waiting to try to find an opponent for the college football championship on that initial level, that first tier of gamers, and you can let that thing play for 5 minutes and you will not find a matchup, and I don't know why. So I have the other videos on my channel with all the episodes from my online play from last year's game and from this year's game, and I had a little stall because I can't find any online matchups. But a big draw for me wanting the college football 26 game this year was the online head-to-head, because I had so much fun playing the online head-to-head last year, and I was getting washed in a lot of those games. There's 70 plus episodes in a playlist on my channel if you want to watch me get beaten to death with people using South Carolina back when that wide receiver was the cheat code. Dude put up 400 yards receiving with that guy in 4-minute quarters or 3-minute quarters, something crazy. Yeah, still got memories and nightmares of that. But back to the overall point, I think you can develop a game that will satisfy a fan of the online head-to-head and the ultimate team type aspects, as well as service the franchise mode people. I think the company has to put a real legitimate effort into doing that. They spend it just feels like they spend all of their resources into monetization and bringing back the revenue that they want, while neglecting us, which is why I think we have this opinion that they can only really do one or the other. But I do understand his general point, but I feel like, just using myself as an example, I like the online stuff, but I also really, really love the dynasty stuff, and I wish that to use the team builder site, you didn't have to always be connected. Once you download the team, it should be downloaded locally, and you should have it available in exhibition games, whatever you want to do. And then if you have a franchise league or whatever, you should be able to keep that team. But from what I understand, once those servers go down, the downloaded team builder teams are kaput. And maybe I'm misunderstanding that. I know for a fact that if you have a league with your friends, that's going to die. And that's what I currently have right now. But they need to make it so that you can download these things locally, and then it's just yours for here on until the end of time or whatever. But yeah, I think I got sidetracked. Let's get back to his point.
Online and let those things split apart. Now, the issue with that is, if you're EA or any of these companies, the online or the offline community don't bring in any cheese. Like, I mean, they don't bring in no cheese. A guy like me, EA probably hate to see me buy their video games because I don't spend no more money. I get the game, I play Dynasty, I haven't even played Road to Glory, but I will at some point, and that's the extent of my money being spent. It's just on the initial purchase, man. People that play Ultimate Team, I'm sure a couple of you guys play Ultimate Team, so feel free to chime in down below. They will spend money on the game all throughout the year. All throughout the year, they will spend money on this game, and if you're EA, it's like when I'm deciding what to invest in, what to prioritize with the upcoming game, what to give the most improvements, what to update throughout the year, am I going to go with the avenue that's bringing in more money throughout the year? And also,
I agree with Jaden 1,000,000%, a quadrillion percent, a bazillion percent on the fact that once EA or 2K gets my initial purchase on a game, it's unlikely for me to spend any more money. I will say that there are like a couple of examples that I could think of off the top of my head right now, or one example. So back to December 2022, I got 2K22 from my brother, the wrestling version, the WWE 2K22. I ended up buying WWE 2K23 when that went on sale. I didn't play it because I had a grand scheme of turning the 2K22 game into the custom wrestler game, the 2K23 game into the throwback wrestling game, and then 2K24 I was going to turn that into the modern wrestling game. None of that actually happened, and I rarely played any of those games. But now I'm in a position where I don't want that 2K24 game to go to complete waste. So what I did do is I did buy the season pass, and I bought the accelerator or whatever that was to unlock basically everything in the game, not for the purposes of having those characters per se, but because I'm going to just turn that 2K24 game into the game where I have like a bunch of custom made up fictitious wrestlers, maybe throw myself in the game, maybe put my wife in the game as a character, and just maybe eventually do a universe mode that can turn into some content for the channel. That's kind of in the early stages. The servers are going down, so I had to kind of rush and buy those things before, I think, March 31st of this year, 2026. So I went and purchased the season pass, which was, pretty much discounted once you buy it off of one of these websites. And whatever the accelerated pass was, got those pretty cheap, all things considered. So yeah, I did spend some money. Can't act like I didn't. And if it wasn't for the fact that they paywall and lock up certain attires and moves and all that stuff with the DLC, I wouldn't have spent any money. But I do plan to use this game at some point, and I guess I can rationalize it by saying I didn't pay the full retail price for any of the stuff. Everything was pretty much discounted, but still it sucks. It just shows another example of how they nickel and dime you. You should, in theory, be able to play through the game and unlock everything, but things are digitally, they add things digitally here and there, so it's not even encoded into the original game from my understanding. So it's crazy like that. So I got stuck. I got caught right there. But in general, nah. I pay the money one time. That's it. I ain't trying to spend no more bread on this damn game. Oh, I gotta add something else. Not only am I not gonna spend the money on this damn game, you may not even get my money for your next game or the game after that if you go by my track record with the PlayStation and Xbox 360. And to keep it real, I'm even kind of preparing myself to do that with Madden and with the NBA 2K25 games. I might just ride those games out for another season and then see how things look after that. Now, the college football game, that's a game that I play with my friends, so there's that, not FOMO necessarily, but there's that desire to keep playing the current game with them. So I didn't buy this year's, but I might buy next year's if they agree that we're going to do the franchise mode again. So you got me, EA. At least for one game, you got me. But for Madden and 2K25, unless I get the new versions of those games, the 2027 versions of those games for free, I'm not buying it.
More excitement, when these packs, players come out, people come back to the game to play with their favorite player, whatever. Or do go with the community that already bought the game. Like, let's be honest, if you have College Football 26 and you're a Dynasty player, I mean, it ain't nothing else for you to do. Like, you already have the game. And if you don't have the game and you like Dynasty, I mean, you're probably not going to get it at this point. Like, the football season over, like, there's no incentive to keep, coming back to Dynasty or spend money on the game. If you're a sim guy or offline guy, in my opinion, what the game should be made for, every single time EA is going to choose that, red pill, where they're going to make more money on the online community, investing in that. So it's an impossible situation, I believe, for the company, because at the end of the day, the people at the head of the company, they might only care about how much money is coming in. They might not always care about, is the fans happy?
Unfortunately, I think he's right about the mindset that a lot of these executives have, because we see this across, I think, every industry, where the bottom line is the bottom line, as they say. But I feel like if you're selling a consumer product, the happiness should lead to the money. Like, I feel like if you keep your customers happy, they're going to be more willing to spend money. And you shouldn't like strong arm them or kind of finesse them into spending money with you, or make them feel like they're being taken advantage of. And that's what a lot of these video game companies seem to be doing. Now, I do understand the perspective of the company in terms of wanting to pay more attention to the things that bring them more money. That's very logical from that economic capitalistic perspective. Like, you're gonna devote more resources to the thing where you recoup the most financially, but at the same time, you're still getting money from us for the game. You're not offering this game up as some kind of free-to-play game with optional spending. People are actually spending money. And like in the most recent controversy that I talked about with WWE 2K26, people are spending $150 or pre-ordering this thing for $150 and not even getting the full extent of what the game offers. That feels wrong to me. And I think someone did some weird calculations where it would cost you, I forgot what the number was, but I think it was well over $400 or so if you held to the NBA 2K's pricing for certain things in the game. If you apply that to the WWE game, you would have to spend that much money to complete everything if you only bought the initial entry-level edition of the WWE 2K26 game. That feels wrong to me. And I think the real test is whether or not the audience will just go along with it. Like, for the most part, we go along with everything. Not to jump on the soapbox, but we collectively buy phones that we don't need. We do a lot of stuff with our money that we don't necessarily need to do with our money. And these companies, they probably already know it. They probably done some studies internally and kind of figure out how our brains work, and then they market towards that. And unfortunately, I don't really see any significant change. Now, maybe the current economic crisis, or the problems that we have with the economy, may lead to less discretionary spending, and in turn, they'll feel the effects of it. But I don't know.
And it's not just the gaming company issue or anything. It's us. It's on us too, man, because we're the one that's buying these microtransactions for 2K. I'll bring up 2K because I'm a big 2K player. I like it. I like playing the basketball game. I like playing Pro-Am. I play pretty competitively. I spend money on 2K. That's the game that get me. 2K gets me. I will buy multiple builds. Why? Because that's how I actually have fun playing the game. So for me, it's worth it. I'm not going to say it's an investment, because it's not an investment, but instead of going to the club and spending $200 in the club, I'm going to spend, $200 on 2 bills and use those bills over months, instead of one night at the club like some people do. So it's like, I would much rather do that, stay in the crib on a Friday night, play my little 2K, instead of, like I said, spending money out or whatever. So that's my thought process when it comes to like spending money on that game, because I really do enjoy it. But I know, hey, I'm part of the issue. Like, 2K has gone way too far. Like, I mean, every single year the bills cost more and more, and it's like any other video game will allow you to respec these bills. Like, hey, you made this bill, it's trash, you can respec it. No, 2K does not do that. And also, this is probably the craziest thing, they will patch the game and no longer make your build valid. That is the one that is the most triggering, and it happens every year to me, man.
I had to let that one play out a little bit, man, see where he was going. But $200 on VC, that's a little extreme for me. because I don't really want to spend no money on VC at all. But the $200 at the club, I kind of feel them on that. I'm out the club range. I think in my early 40s, clubbing ain't really for me. But I would spend $200 on a nice night out, $200 or more on a nice night out with the missus. Go to a nice little restaurant that has the karaoke, or a nice little restaurant that has like a club type addition to it. But going to a straight up club and just dropping $200 on drinks, nah, that ain't really my move right now either. But the $200, I'm not gonna give Visual Concepts or 2K $200. Nah, I'm buying the game if I buy the game, but you ain't gonna get no $200 out of me for no VC. You got the 80 that one year, that $70, $80 that one year, because I got the game for free. But nah, I ain't giving you 120 more. Sorry. And it sucks though for the gamers who do want to have multiple builds, because there's a way for them to let people respect their next mod player. Just make it so that they can't use the other one that they spent the money on. If you're that pressed about them using one set of VC multiple times, then just make it so that you can only have one active my player build if you want to respec the players, or just have it so where if you want to have multiple builds, you have that option too, where you can spend the money separately. But if you want to just kill the one character, you should be able to allow those points to be reallocated to your next one. And I'm guessing there's some, I don't know, rebirth or whatever. When I was doing the my player thing in 2K23, I didn't really understand nothing that was going on. I was just trying to play games. But it just feels wrong. People spending thousands of dollars, and that's a whole different issue, but people spending thousands of dollars on multiple builds when they should have been able to just say, this character ain't working, you nerfed the build that I made. I didn't nerf it, you nerfed it. You should be able to give those gamers back something in return that's tangible. But yeah, that kind of sucks, I ain't gonna lie.
No matter what, but it's they're not gonna keep spending money. I know for College Football Ultimate Team, they just dropped this Draft Champs, and I heard it's absolutely trash. I haven't played it. I said I haven't touched Dynasty or Ultimate Team all year. I heard it was absolute trash, and you even gotta have a good roster to store draft players that you have in your inventory, something like that. I don't know too much about it. I just heard nothing but bad feedback about that game mode. How is it such a disconnect from the community and the game developers? How is this such a massive disconnect? And it's a real question, man. I would love to hear y'all thoughts down below. I don't know any of the developers personally, for college football or Madden. I don't know any of them personally, but I'm sure they know of me, at least know about this channel. I'm sure it came across their feed one time, and we post so many videos about the game, want the game to be better. And the game is not bad, but I truly feel it is a little bit of a disconnect of what the community wants. And if we don't, from last year to this year, it's some stuff that I still don't know how it didn't make this game for.
All right, for this one, I think I might be shooting at the developers maybe too much bell, but I'm of the belief that the developers are aware. I don't think they buried their heads in the sand to the point where they don't know, especially a person like Jaden. Jaden has a substantial following. You got the Eric Ray Weathers, you got for the Madden side. There are a lot of content creators with large followings that put their opinions out there, and I think developers are very much aware of what their opinions are. But what I think it comes down to is how those resources are being allocated as far as developing the game, what pressures they're getting from their higher ups. The ground level developer probably wants to make this magnificent game and has visions of how to go about it, but of course the financial aspects are coming from up top. And if you have your managers trying to management trying to push certain things about the game more than others, you only have a finite amount of time to really develop these games, especially with these cycles that they run with these yearly titles, that things are going to be ignored until they eventually appear as some special feature or whatever that we've been asking for like 10 years, and then it finally comes up and they act like they did something. But I think the developers overall, I think they probably understand what us as gamers want, but they don't have the final say. I don't think that they really steer the direction of these franchises, these series. Everything is pretty much determined by how much money you can get out of a given feature. And that's my opinion. I don't have any inside knowledge, but that just seems to stand to reason when it comes to this type of situation. Like, they are probably given a directive or an objective, and that's what they have to focus the majority of their time on. And if they have other ideas that they want to push forward, maybe they can push those. But yeah, there's no way that they don't know who you are because you have a significant following. Just like some of the other sports, you have people who are well known in the WWE 2K space, which is crazy because I started seeing those videos hit my feed a lot. The NBA 2K has a wide community of YouTube content creators who offer up their criticisms, but ultimately those things get ignored because I don't think it makes their radar in terms of making dollars and cents. But let me see what else Jaden has to say.
For example, dynamic pipeline, that is such low-hanging fruit. I mean, that might be the lowest hanging fruit out there. So if it's not in this next year game, that is going to be a real issue. Like, that will be a real issue. That has to be in this game, man. And then also some stuff like NIL, in my opinion, that needs to be in the game. But if it's not, I'm not going to say the game is, I'm not going to write the game off if that's not in the game. I think it should be, though. But back to that disconnect from the community and also the developers, the people that's making the game. I'm sure the developers want all of their games to be good. I'm sure they do. But I'm also sure that their boss, have also deadlines, this, that, and the third, things to prioritize. Like, I'm sure it's not just as simple as make the best possible game and, you have unlimited time to make it. It does not work like that. A lot of these games probably could benefit from taking...
Looks like I paused a step too soon because basically he said the same exact thing that I was saying, but he said it first, obviously, because he put out the video first. Yeah, this is a situation where the developers themselves don't really have the final say. It's the people above them who are pushing certain things. Now, he also mentioned certain features that he wanted to see. I think he mentioned NIL. I eventually want to see NIL factor into the dynasty, but I think the college football world itself, like in real life, is still kind of figuring out how this works. So I think it's, especially for a game just coming back from this hiatus, or if you want to count NCAA as part of the lineage, I think the developers are trying to figure out how to integrate that kind of stuff as well. We saw them not put coaches in the first year, put coaches in. I think this is still kind of a work in progress in year 2 since the revival of a college football game in EA. So certain things may probably take a little more time, especially being that we're still relatively new in the NIL world. So we got to figure that out, because how would we integrate it? Would it be like having certain boosters for certain programs, or having, I don't know, they tried to do certain things like that with the Road to Glory last year, if I remember correctly, because I did play the Clay Brown Jr. Road to Glory series. That's another cheap plug. Nick Foley would be proud. Yeah, but they're probably trying to figure out ways to make that work for the dynasty mode itself. So maybe we'll get that, because I definitely feel like that'll add another layer of realism to your dynasty mode. For me in my little small school, though, I'm gonna get poached for every top talent by the big boys. So I'm not looking forward to that, but I am looking forward to the realism of seeing those kinds of elements implemented into the dynasty of college football.
A year off, if they took 2 years to make the next college football 28, and skip 27, I personally wouldn't like that. I know a lot of people would. I personally wouldn't like that. From a content creator, I want a new game. I enjoy playing the game, and even having these small improvements every year, I do like. But if they took a year off, especially for MLB, that's a game that probably been looking the same for 10 years. Like, if you look at the MLB graphics, probably look the exact same for the last 10 years. But if you take a year off, maybe you have time to really, put a new engine in the game and have a new graphics package, man. Get some real new animations, man. The game kind of have, like I said, played and looked the same for a while now. Like, you play one MLB, you play them all. The only real difference is if you're a Diamond Dynasty guy, you want to have the new game. Like the new Diamond Dynasty season when the new game come out, that's always fun. That's my selling point. I don't play the Road to Glory.
Now, this is an idea that I've heard like in my actual day-to-day conversations before with like a coworker of mine where he said, the games don't change that much. Why don't they just put out a game without a year, like just Madden, and then just give you the roster updates every year and just charge you whatever for that. And I think because there are other games out there like the free-to-play games where they just put out a game and they just update it constantly, I think that's why an idea like that is picking up more and more steam. We're living in this digital world where you don't really need to physically press discs and cartridges and anything like that anymore. You can, in theory, make this work. Now, how would that affect their bottom line? I don't know, because I think they do every year expect to get people to pre-order and buy these things before time, and they probably count on that money. Like, I don't know. I don't really know how the logistics would work, but in theory, I kind of agree, because me, myself, I take years off, or I have taken years off with sports games over the year. I don't feel compelled to just buy the game because it has the newest rosters. It'd be cool to have the newest rosters and the actual players, but once I'm able to like download or create a draft class, then the players in the game, they might not look exactly the way that they do. They may not even play exactly the way that they play, but they're in the game. If it's in the game, it's in the game. If I'm stealing EA Sports' old tagline from back in the day, showing my age. I don't even know if they use that tagline anymore. But that's pretty much how I use these games anyway. And that's what I'm actually doing. If you check out my channel, another cheap plug, I have the WNBA 2025 and 2026 draft classes for NBA 2K25, which is the last year's iteration of the game, because 2K26 is the one that's current. And when I was watching someone on YouTube do like player edits in 2K26, I was looking at the character models. They're pretty much the exact same. It looks like they just changed the backgrounds. Same with because I had 2K24, I had 2K23, I had Madden 25, I had Madden 24 through Game Pass. I played that through that, and they changed the menus a little bit. They might change the background a little bit, but everything looks pretty much the same, which is why I don't feel compelled to really buy these games year after year. Even some of the music, I think in some of these games kind of sounds alike. It might not even be the same track, but it kind of sounds alike. So, I mean, they don't really make the improvements that make me want to buy the new game. And so they could, in theory, just put out a game with the base rosters and then offer up periodic updates at a small fee, of course. And they could probably even price those updates at the typical price of a new release. But I don't know how that would go. I don't know how the logistics work on that. But hey, the solution for me, for the gamers who feel that way, just don't buy the new game, and you're gonna have to put in a whole lot of man hours and legwork. And these companies get pretty crazy with taking down servers, so we can't really extend these projects for multiple years the way that people did with the old college hoops game on the 360 and the PS3. But we can probably extend this thing for like a couple of years if we just sit out 1 year and just update the game through draft classes. That's what I've done. So I'm kind of digging a trench right now with NBA 2K25, because I'm working on the WNBA draft class all the way to 2028 if necessary. So they're gonna have to really win my money back, show me real significant improvement before I'm willing to like plunk down some more money, or unless I get the game for free. I guess that's always the caveat.
I feel like if you do play the Road to Glory, yes, now they have colleges, they have even more colleges in this year game. I don't know if it's a reason for you to really go buy the game. If you're just, I'm calling it Road to Glory, and MLB is, I believe it's called Road to the Show. If you're that guy, I really don't see the incentive to go ahead and, buy the new game. But for the Dynasty guys, Diamond Dynasty at least, you're probably gonna go ahead and get it. So like I said, a lot of people in that MLB community is really complaining about the graphics. For me, it's not that big of a deal. Like, the game looked solid. I don't need the game to look perfect. I care much more about gameplay, some of the intangibles. I care much more about some of the other stuff, the features. That's what I care about. The graphics, as long as they're good enough, I'm fine with that, man. Like, for equipment and College Football 26 and 7, I made a video talking about that, how, hey, that's not my top priority. If it makes the game cool, but hey, we need the dynamic pipelines, and we need some of this other stuff that's actually gonna, have a more presence on the game rather than just looking cool. And that's important, looking cool, but like I said, it's not as important.
That's a fact. Now, I think a lot of times we get caught up with the shiny objects, and I think the developers themselves, the companies themselves, think they can just trick us up with the shiny object. Oh, look at this person sweats. This person, look at the rain, look at the lighting, which are like good things to have, but they'll do that and not address glitches. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Like with Madden, that draft class glitch that was rearing its ugly head, where your player would kind of default to this generic look after you edit them and edit their draft rank or something like that. That's the kind of issue that I came across with me trying to edit the 2026 NFL draft class for Madden 25, where I tried to change the place, the projected rank for a certain player, and it just messed up the player. Like, why is that an issue? Because I think it was also an issue into the 2025 game, sorry, the 2024 game, and I think it might even be an issue in this current iteration. The Madden 26, I think, also has the same glitch. Why are these things persistent? And they don't care. That's the reason why. It doesn't bring any, the franchise gamers like us, we don't bring them any real money, so they don't care to fix those things.
And some of this other stuff. So back to like the MLB, I really want to lean into that topic because everyone in the MLB community is upset, and it just had me thinking, like, they're upset because their favorite game is about to drop and it's not looking how they wanted to look. No real new features, the graphics look the same, and then it had me thinking, what if we're in that position, 5 months from now, 4 months from now, wherever, the next cycle start, and we'll, start getting some content on the new College Football 27. I start thinking that, and I'm like, ooh, that would be super frustrating. So now I start to feel for the MLB community because, like, say they do drop a trailer and, they announce that, hey, no dynamic pipeline. I keep leaning on the dynamic pipelines. Insert whatever your most important thing is. If you're the equipment guy, it might be one leg sleeve. Like, insert that, or whatever is most important that's still realistic to have in this upcoming game. What if that feature is not in the next college?
Yeah, so while I don't play like MLB The Show like that, I haven't played it since the Jazz Chisholm one. I think that's the MLB The Show 23. I do feel for those gamers who look at the trailer and feel underwhelmed, but now this is their chance to like make their voices heard by just not buying the game and not playing the game and holding on to the current title and trying to milk that one for what it's worth. Now, he mentioned also us college football gamers, and what if we're in the same boat when like July rolls around and then we start seeing things and not feeling too happy with it? I mean, I already kind of admitted my fault here. If the two brothers that I'm playing this dynasty mode with are gonna get the game, then I'm gonna probably get the game so we can continue our trend of just playing our online leagues with one another. Now, in theory, we don't have to do that. We could technically continue the same league up until they kill the servers, but I got a feeling that one of them is going to get the game, and then that's going to probably lead the other two of us to get the game so that we can continue having fun playing an online league. Now, in terms of features that I definitely want to see, I want to see the ability to save our team builder teams locally, meaning the logos and all that stuff, the rosters. I want to be able to use the team builder website, kind of like how the team builder website was before, because that's how I kept NCAA 12 alive forever. Like I had a bunch of downloaded HBCU schools, put them all in the Sun Belt Conference with one another, put them with some other FCS level schools, and I had fun having my own customized world. I'm a Syracuse fan, so I had the Big East customized, had Villanova in there for a time, had UMass in there for a time. All of those were team builder teams. Now, without the internet, I was still able to have access to all of those teams and my franchise. Why don't we have that right now? Why do I have to have internet connection in order to retrieve the dynasty involving a team builder team that I designed on your website? I should be able to download that thing locally to my console and then be able to access it well after. I should be able to play this ESU dynasty 10 years from now if I wanted to. But unfortunately, from my understanding, all this stuff is linked to the servers and it's not really stored on your hard drive. It's stored like in the cloud somewhere, and that sucks. Because I would love to be able to revisit this whole franchise mode, even if I don't play with like online with the homies anymore. I wouldn't be able to use this same team just perpetually. I want to be able to. Instead, I'm going to probably have to design this or add these same designs to next year's team builder. Probably rename the players once again if I wanted to go that route, instead of just being able to just continue this thing on and on and on. So that's my thing. That's my thing that I want to see. And I want to see the same thing for the NBA 2K series, because with the WNBA having this expansion plan over the next few years, you can only store 3 edited teams, whether that be you relocating a franchise and changing them or expanding the league. You can only store 3 of those teams. 3, not 4. You can add 2 at a time, but you can only store 3. Does that make any sense? You can only store 3 on your locally on your console. The others you'd have to host online. And then NBA, 2K. Every 2 years they kill those servers, so those teams, you have no access to them. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's the dumbest, but one of the dumbest things I've seen in my life. Now I'm getting off my little rant. Let's hear what Jaden has to say.
Football 27, man, how frustrated the community is. It's just like, it just seems like such a big disconnect between, and I don't know why. I don't know how to fix it. I really don't. I would love to hear your ideas down below. I think about another major issue just in the sports world is all of these games. I've been talking about, 3-4 games throughout this whole video. None of them have true competition. MLB, 0 true competition when it comes to another baseball game. Just no true competition. 2K, none. NBA Live, no. I mean, no. Even if it does come back around, it's probably not coming back around, man. They announced they're not even making a new college basketball game. I was excited for that, to hear EA was making that. I'm like, oh, some competition, and now it's going to force 2K to be on a P's and Q's. So no competition there. Madden, I mean, I guess the competition is college football. I mean, would we consider that competition? I personally wouldn't, because they're both made by the same company and probably even by the same developers, probably. So I wouldn't consider Madden and college football competitions for each other. And we have no other version of a real football game. And we got some BS dynasty games. Them things, BS, man. I hate to be negative. I played a couple, those fake dynasty games. Some of them are.
I think that the lack of competition might be the biggest reason why we're suffering as sports game fans right now. Maybe even more so than the monetization, because if there was another 2 or 3 companies out there, even in the age of monetization, these companies would be forced to kind of put their best foot forward. Like, somebody would have to listen to the things that we want and implement it, because they want that part of the market. They want that market share. They want to grab the gamers who are disgruntled with 2K. So if EA did come back with a NBA Live, this might, even though NBA Live kind of fell off a cliff from where it was at this lofty perch and it just fell apart. But I think right now, if they had a promising product, people would probably be more likely to give it a chance now, being that they're frustrated with 2K, especially in wake of this whole cheating scandal and all this other stuff. And I was incredibly disappointed when I heard that EA basically bowed out of making a college basketball game because they wouldn't have the exclusive rights to it. I guess that's the word. And like, just make a better product, man. Give us that other option. Like, I played March Madness back in the day, like a couple of the March Madness games. I was more so a fan of College Hoops 2K8. That, to me, that's like one of my all-time favorite basketball games, period. But I would love for EA to get back in the basketball space via the college basketball side. And I mean, no one knew that Caitlin Clark would catch fire the way that she did, and the popularity of the women's game. But imagine if they had a viable college basketball game that included the high-level women's college basketball teams during that time period. Maybe more people will be like, oh, yeah, let me see what EA's got going on the basketball court. And to my knowledge, I don't think the NBA has an exclusive deal with the 2K company to make games. So in theory, Live could come back. So maybe you use the college basketball game to whet the appetite for people to say, hey, maybe EA can come back and like a phoenix and be viable in the pro basketball space. But unfortunately, no, it's not going to happen. And because we don't have any competition, these companies can kind of take us for granted. They can kind of play in our faces with all these extra nickel and diming monetization plans and glitches that persist year after year after year. They don't address. Like, if we had real competition that could address the concerns that we had, then these companies would have to, pit themselves against each other in order to win over our money.
Are BS, man. Some of our BS, not all of them. So point is, if you like basketball, football, or you're a huge college football fan, you have one option, one company, and that feels wrong to me. Like that truly feels wrong. Like that it's a monopoly in the sports gaming community, and that's probably the biggest issue. One of the biggest issues here, next to the microtransactions that these games has, shifted to, is like, it's a true monopoly. I don't even think anyone else can even make another MLB game. I don't think anyone can make any of these games, man. I think they got a license with the leagues, and they literally cannot make these games and have the teams in them. So it's like, it makes sense for the league and the company to have these deals, but for the consumer, us, it's like, we kind of just out of luck. We kind of just got to force to deal with whatever product we get. And what incentive do 2K have to make a good game? Like, that's really I want to focus on 2K because this is a game that probably makes the most money out of all of these sports games, because my team, people absolutely love my team, man. My team might be more popular than Ultimate Team. I don't know which one more popular. I would assume my team is the more popular option. Now, what probably makes the most money for 2K is my career, man. Like, just upgrading players. So many players play online. They spend so much cheese. I know they make a crazy amount of money. So 2K really is just running up a bag. So what is...
They don't. Now, in theory, this internal desire to put out the best possible product would be the sole motivator that you need. But like, you're the juggernaut in your space. You're the big company in your space. You don't have any viable competition. There's no real urgency because people are captive to your product. Like, there is no motivation to improve anything. That's why you still see the same kinds of designs. That's why you don't see much improvement to anything. You see the same glitches pop up year to year. I keep going off about glitches, but that's very frustrating because these things aren't hidden. When glitches pop up, they're known because people talk about them. So those things should be addressed. And there's another point that I had in my head that it kind of lost. I want to say it trended along the lines of the development cycle. They don't have the desire to really try to improve these games because they have these super tight windows too that they're trying to market the next game, push out the next game, pump out the next game. And meanwhile, people spending their money on VC and they're not really changing their purchasing habits. There's no real motivation for these companies to really do anything. There's no competition. There's no motivation for them to really put out the best possible product. And unfortunately, I don't see anything changing. Like, I think we're pretty much locked in because when September rolls around and the next NBA game comes out, you're going to see all of the internet press runs. You're going to see the big YouTubers in the 2K space talking about it. They might waver about, is this game, because I saw it this time around. I saw people kind of hesitant and fairly critical and negative about the game. But what happened? They're all making content using NBA 2K26 right now. So, and I'm not even knocking them. This is not an attack on them at all. It just shows you like people feel captive to the game. Like this is the game, the only game in town for the most part. And they want to play online with their friends. They want to be. They're not really dynasty players. They live off of the competition with other people online. So they're gonna play the game where the vast majority of the gamer base is gonna be. So I'm not knocking none of that. But that's part of the reason why 2K, Madden, none of these companies. None of these games are going to really see any significant improvement because they're not seeing any kind of hit to their bottom line, at least not to the degree where they would force them to make the changes.
Incentive do they have to make a good game? They'll make more money. That's a good incentive. But also, what if they don't make a good game? People still buying it. I'm sure you know somebody that said, hey, I'm not buying 2K this year. Hey, I'm not buying Madden this year. And they waiting for it to drop, waiting for it to, download at 12 o'clock so they can play on release night. They even bought it early. They even paid to get the early edition, paid the extra whatever to play the game 5 days early. It's like these games are still going to sell because the people that love the sport will always love that sport and will always want to play that game. So for me personally, I know we had some really, really bad 2Ks. Last year 2K might have been the worst in a while. Like maybe the worst of my lifetime, worst I ever played. I played the hell out of it. Why? Because I was still able to have fun in a very bad 2K because I'm good at that game. Not trying to brag or anything. I'm really pretty good at 2K, so I always have fun even when the game is terrible. Now this 2K right here is pretty good, so I have fun and it's a good game, so it's a double positive for that. But it's actually interesting. I'm on pace to spend a lot less money on 2K this year than I did last year because last year when the game was bad, I actually found myself trying to find the perfect build in a bad game. And every single build costs more money.
I think for the most part, most hardcore sports games fans will find a way to make the game fun for them, especially in this age of the online play. Like if you have a group of friends, or even if you don't have a group of friends that you know personally, you have a group of guys that you game with, y'all gonna make it fun. Y'all gonna make it do what it do. So I kind of understand what he's saying on that.
So this year, the game's good, so a lot more builds are also good. So I'm able to have fun on more builds without making no more builds, if that craziness makes sense. So I'm actually spending less money this year on the game with a better game. So it's like, for at least me, they're better off having a bad game, and they're also would be better off just dropping a patch in the middle of the year that actually change up gameplay completely, because then everyone's going to make a new build. It's like they're incentivized to do that, man. They're literally incentivized to do that. Also, these other companies are incentivized to do that as well. Like, if you're college football, or let's say Madden, if you're Madden and you have a pretty bad bug in the game that don't make the game unplayable, but the game is not, in a good spot, and you drop that bug to fix it, now everyone that put the game down was, is most likely going to come back to play it. Now, that's not a great marketing strategy, but you fix the game, you drop some packs, you drop some big time players with the, Ultimate Team or cut update, whatever that shit is called. And everyone's going to come back to the game because the gameplay is better. All the content dropped, and next thing you know, they dropping the bag on the game.
Man, if that's the mindset of the developers in terms of finding ways to snake money out of the gamers, that's cold-blooded. Like, that would be a very cold-blooded way to fleece your customers. But I wouldn't put anything past, and he's not saying that that's what they're doing. I just want to make that clear. I'm not saying that he's saying that, but if that's like part of the calculus in terms of why they don't address certain things, then that's a very cold and heartless way to operate. But in this space of make money at any cost, I wouldn't put nothing past anybody.
Hey man, and I'm sure they've done that. I'm sure they've done that before. Maybe not on purpose, but I'm sure it happened. Now, I know we're jumping around a lot here, but this is a topic I'm a little bit passionate about. Just a little bit. Just a little bit passionate about it. But back to college football, and I think about the AI stuff I've been doing with the FSU Dynasty. If you made this far in the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that. Check out the Twitch. But FSU Dynasty, having a ball with it. But I'm using this AI platform, right? I'm using 2 different AIs. Is it tedious? Hell yeah. It's tedious. After every game, I gotta, type in what happened in the game, type in what happened with my recruits, type in a storyline, have ChatGPT produce it, then I put it into Notebook LM. Notebook LM takes 5 minutes to make the podcast, and then I'm green. Maybe it don't sound that bad, but when I'm on stream doing this, that's relatively annoying, But in my opinion, it's a feature that should be in the game. This is a feature that should be in the game. Like, if I'm able to do this all within 6 minutes, realistically 6 minutes or less, like from start to finish to like playing the podcast, because the podcast take like 4 minutes to make itself. So I'm redoing all this work in 2 minutes. How is this not already in the game, in my opinion? Or like in next year game, because AI is newish, I guess. We'll say, how is this not going to be a next year game? They have no excuse. They got to have some sort of, I don't care if it's AI, some sort of dynamic commentary, podcast storylines that talk to you. I think we at that point, like, if I want to be in my dynasty, I should be able to, hey, talk about my recruiting class.
So I'm not actually familiar with his AI Dynasty videos. I need to check that out to kind of understand the concept behind it and how he goes about it. But just based on what I think I understand in terms of the podcast, I see some other YouTubers, smaller YouTubers, they don't have the same level of like following or anything like that, who do put together little radio shows and podcasts based around their franchise modes. And I'm not sure if they're using like an AI element to do it, but it's something that I thought about doing with my Empire State University Dynasty, like having a little segment where I kind of change my voice up and act like a sports talk radio host, especially when the team is slumping. But I ultimately decided not to do it. But those are nice little features that add to the immersion in the world. And I'd be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to shout out Flimlo Raps, who's like another big creator on YouTube who does a lot of football related content in terms of the human side of football. But on Flimlo's secondary channel, he's over the years, and I think on his main channel over the years, he's done a lot of content surrounding first the NCAA Football 14 game, where he has like these very elaborate storylines, as well as into the College Football 25 game. I don't think he did anything for this year's game, but like he has this natural knack for storytelling, and it shines through even with his non-video game content. Like, he's just excellent. So I want to shout him out. But I need to check out Jaden's AI Dynasty to just kind of understand like the concept behind it and understand how he puts it together. Because I'm also a Dynasty guy, and I try to do the episodic thing, giving my pre and post game commentary, and kind of give it this storyline feel. And I try to do the recaps between weeks, and try to give it a little. If you reach this far into the video, check out those things as well. But yeah, I gotta check out the content, so I can't speak specifically to what he's doing and give a real opinion on it. So because I don't know exactly what he does as far as like the AI Dynasty. I've seen like other content related to college football game, but just not this specific piece of content that he's talking about.
That's right now. I think that would be game changing, bro. The amount of people that probably be interested in that is crazy. I mean, I'd probably be game changing because no other game, or at least sports game out there, have any type of element like that. So that's why that FSU content is actually doing so well, because it's new, it's refreshing. Like nobody else is really doing that, at least in the sports, or at least in college football 26 world. Maybe other content creators are doing that with other games, but I haven't seen nobody do it with this game like I am for a live stream series. So it's like, add that to the game, and that will actually bring a lot of interest, a lot of this, that, and the third. But it's like, it makes more money up front because more people buying the game. But in the long haul, EA is probably, and I think this is a fact, they're probably better off making Ultimate Team better. they're probably just better off making it better. Probably better off making online gameplay better, making this, that, and the third better for the online space, because those Ultimate Team people are going to spend money then.
Conceptually, that would definitely be an interesting idea, and as I mentioned before, that would add to the immersion of the game, and that's the reason why so many of us love Dynasty, because it's like you're placing yourself into this, almost like this fantasy sports world, where maybe some of us hardcore sports gamers don't play the role-playing games, the RPGs and fantasy games and all like that, but this is our like world. That's, I think, another part of like why the WWE 2K wrestling fans are so into universe mode. It's like crafting your own world that you can just dive into and immerse yourself into. I know back when I was playing the wrestling games more frequently, I can remember, I think it was SmackDown versus Raw 2011. I created a couple of factions. I created La Familia. I created I think it was called, not the Fortune 4, but it was based off of the Fortune. I think it was called the Forgotten. And I had like nice little storylines for them, man. And people want to wrap themselves up into something other than the real world, even if it has elements of the real world in it. And I think that's why things like franchise mode and Dynasty are very popular with us sports fans. So now we're gonna play out the last clip, and then we're gonna follow up with our conclusion.
Entire year. So this is just meant to be, I guess, a little bit of a rant video. Nothing too serious, too crazy. I really just want to talk about a topic that is relevant, and also a game, MLB, that I'm actually very much enjoying. I should say looking forward to play. I enjoyed last year's version of the game. I'm looking forward to it, but just to see how many people was being negative about the game, and the 2K community is always super negative about their games. Like every year that community is negative. I feel like the college football community is not super negative. Like we talk about things that need to be fixed, but for the most part, we're not super negative about the game. So I kind of want to come on here and talk about the sports games in general and how they're all just kind of a monopoly, and it's kind of to our downfall. It's like, damn, we get hurt the most from no other sports game being able to make a sports game with the actual name, image, and likeness, the jerseys, the teams, the logos, the league name, all of this stuff. So unfortunate situation, man. If y'all enjoy this content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, man. I appreciate y'all boys. Check out the Twitch, and we on to the next one.
So that's the end of the reaction. Just want to shout out Call Me Jaden, follow with some closing thoughts, but definitely want to shout him out one more time. Visit his channel. I mean, chances are, if you came across this channel, you've already heard of him, because my channel is like 64 subscribers strong at this time, and that brother got like damn near 21,000 subscribers right now. So yeah, you don't need me to shout him out. He's already light years ahead of where I'm at right now. But yeah, great channel. I'm gonna try to check out the AI Dynasty content to kind of get a better understanding of how he's executing it, and like the basically how it runs, how he's doing it, and how it comes off. Now, to close off this discussion about the downfall or the decline of sports games, the more we've advanced in terms of the technological aspects, the worse it's kind of gotten, for maybe some unforeseen reasons. Maybe you could have foreseen it, but because it made it easier for developers to nickel and dime us, and it made it easier for them to put out games that aren't really ready, because they know they could just patch it later on. Like at one time, with games that had to be physical, or like on a cartridge or a disc, it had to be right before you ship that thing out. It had to be. Now they can just ship out a bad game that's broken, that they know is broken, and they'll just say, okay, give us a couple of months, we'll patch it, and then no one really cares at that point. Once it's fixed, no one cares. But the profit motive is at the center of all of this. We don't have any more competition in the space. The microtransactions are killing us. Like all those reasons that were highlighted by Jaden are like dead on. Like we are suffering as a result of these factors, and there is no real solution, because as a collective, we're not gonna really back off of these games like that. As a collective, like me individually, I can tell you, all right, well, I'm not buying NBA 2K26 because I don't have NBA 2K26 right now. It's the current game. And I can tell you, well, this coming fall, I'm not going to buy a 2K27. And what does that really do? It doesn't really do much, because they're still going to get people who buy the game, because people genuinely like playing that game. They like playing the mod player. They like creating builds. They like playing against people online. And the companies will probably do just enough in the presentation or just enough in the lead up to pique the interest of people who are starved for a game. And we've been conditioned to feel like we need to get that new game. Now, me, I don't really have that problem because I'm kind of frugal in some respects. I don't buy the new phone because it's the new phone. I buy it because I need a new phone. Like my current, I think I mentioned this before, the phone I have now is only purchased because the phone I had before didn't charge, and then once I got the new phone, miraculously the old phone charged. So now I kind of use it as a secondary device when I edit my other videos. But ultimately, we have the answer, but I don't think we're prepared to really follow through in mass to really make our voices heard with these companies. And I don't know any alternative ways, because I don't think we can have this massive petition that they'll respect, because what are the consequences? There's no or else. There's no, hey, you got to do these things or else we'll stop buying, or else we're not going to engage in the micro transaction market. So I don't have a solution for it, but it was a great video, great discussion. Once again, I got to shout out Call Me Jaden. Hopefully I did enough to this video to where it doesn't feel like I'm just straight up stealing that man's content and trying to get cheap views that way. Now, I legitimately follow his channel, especially for the college football tips, and I wanted to react to this because it's a topic that I also have some attachment to. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for checking out this video, and if you got some time, check out some of the other content that we have on the Games with BK YouTube channel.
Wait, that's me.